Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the fact that training for longevity, which is something I've been promoting a lot of for the last year or two, is not promoting or accepting mediocrity. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this because this is something that I've been accused of a few different times. Some other big channels out there who don't necessarily like me have said Jason's promoting mediocrity. Well, I've done my share of competitive powerlifting. I have my medals. You guys have seen them all. You've seen how I've placed in meets. I've competed. I've done all that. And that's fun and everything, but let's be honest here. Is that really the reason most people need to be in the gym, most people need to be training? Is that really going to help them improve the quality of their life? Maybe. Maybe competing in something will. It might. But you know what I think? I think if you compete and burn out young in something and you hurt yourself, I think that's mediocrity. And a lot of young guys get heavily involved in training and they have these ideas that, oh, this stuff is nonsense. That's just promoting weakness and mediocrity to be talking about longevity and talking about people still lifting when they're 40, 50, 60 years old. No, man, that's not mediocrity. That is excellence. Because look at the state of the world. I'm older. I've been in this game a long time. I know so many guys. I meet so many guys. They meet me, they know I lift, and they'll talk about it and be like, well, I want to get back into lifting, but man, my rotator cuff is still really hurt from back when I was 23 or whatever. They hurt themselves so bad they quit training. Now they've got a big beer belly out to here, out of shape, wanting to get back into shape, but they're scared to try. They don't know how to do it. You know how many guys I meet like that? Tons of them. Tons of them. And, I see all these young guys, and I'm like, if you want to see a perfect example of what happens when you guys do this stuff only when you're young and then you burn out and you can't keep doing it, how many of you guys remember, this is maybe going to show my age, there was this old TV show called Married with Children, and the main character was a guy named Al Bundy, and he was a middle-aged working class guy out of shape. And he used to always go back and tell the stories about that one football game. And he would go into the details of how he excelled and just dominated that one high school football game. And that was like his glory moment. And that's all he had as far as athleticism or anything like that to talk about. While he's an old, out-of-shape guy with 2 teenage children. Doesn't exercise, doesn't eat anything, doesn't play football obviously anymore. And he never went anywhere with it. It was nothing but a high school thing for him. He didn't take it any further. And that's what I fear happening to a lot of young guys who get caught up in all this bullshit on the internet of how they have to be so hardcore all the time. You guys are going to end up like Al Bundy. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get fucked up. Following this sort of idea that so many of these people put out, you're going to get banged up, hurt up, have tears, injuries, everything else, all for a few years of being in shape when you're young. Don't go anywhere with it. It doesn't get you a scholarship. You don't get a degree out of it. You don't make any money out of it. And then you're just beat up and hurt and have injuries that are going to hurt the rest of your life. Anything you tear training or rip training or a shoulder joint injury, you know that shit's going to be hurting you for the next 30 years, right? That doesn't just go away, oh, you pull it one time and it only hurts when you bench press. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's not how it works. Those injuries are still going to be hurting when you're 60 years old trying to get up out of bed every morning. They hurt forever. And people want to train stupid and follow this stuff. And these ideas that people put out. You know what? Anyone who you listen to, who's giving you training advice, who needs wraps and sleeves when they train around any of their joints, that's a motherfucker you don't need to be listening to. Because that's someone who has beat themselves up. They're already hurt. They're already hurt. And I'm not promoting that people train light. You need to keep that in mind. You guys still see me as an old man. Well, old, I'm 40 years old. I've still got videos up less than 6 months ago with me repping out 500 pounds or 7 reps on the deadlift. I still train pretty heavy. I don't train real heavy all the time. You know what, guys? Most days I come in and I work with 405 on the deadlift. That's what I work with. You know what? I work with 185 on the overhead press. In fact, I do that 3 or 4 days a week on the overhead press. That's just how I train. I do a lot of body weight chin-ups. Occasionally I add weight. but I promote longevity and training. And I'm telling people that if you have someone who's giving you advice that is leaving you needing knee wraps and knee sleeves or elbow sleeves, or you're needing wraps and sleeves on anything to keep it from hurting, that person is giving you bad advice. And if those people need it, and it's not just from an old injury they have to deal with that they've been nursing for a decade, no, that's not people you need to be listening to. That's not excellence. That's not achieving. That's mediocrity. These are people who are just going to be busted up when they're older. You want to know what's excellence? Jack LaLanne. That guy is my biggest fitness inspiration of all time. You know why? Because the guy promoted fitness and deadlifting his entire life. He was one of the original fitness gurus. For his 92nd birthday, he swam the English Channel. You know how badass that is? If people say, well, tons of people have swum the English Channel, thousands of people have swam the English Channel. Yeah, but he did it at 92 years old. He did it at 92 years old. Now, a lot of guys are like, well, I don't care about this longevity. I'm just in it for the pussy. Well, you know what? Dudes who stay in shape into old age, they still get pussy. And let me ask you guys a simple question. A lot of you young guys, you love Z's, you love Ziz, you talk about how much pussy he got. Guy died at 22. Jack LaLanne was a fitness guru helping everyone get into shape all the way into his 90s. Now, who do you think got laid more? Ziz or Jack LaLanne over the course of their life? I want you to think on that one for a moment. Do the math. Do the math. Tell me which one of them was the real pimp. Which one of them was the real inspiration that really and truly inspired people to do better? I mean, the man promoted fitness to his dying day, and he only died at 94 because he got pneumonia. You know, had he not caught that spell of pneumonia, he might still be alive today. But the English Channel, swam it, 92nd birthday. That is excellence. That's what I want for my whole audience. I want everyone listening to do as well as Jack LaLanne did. If all of us could do half as well as that into our old age, and we could live a life of fitness and strength and athleticism, not have to have walkers, not have to go on insulin for diabetes, to be free and athletic and fit and healthy into our old age, to still be able to deadlift 400 or 500 pounds when we're in our 50s or 60s. That's what I want for everyone. Everyone who wants to train, that's what I want for you. To me, that's excellence. That's not mediocrity. That's not mediocrity. For you, when you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, everyone you know in your age group looks up to you as the fit one. And you don't get there by training like these jackasses do who get hurt all the time with their stupidity, with no clue what they're doing. Again, look at a lot of the examples that people have out there. How many of these people are hurt? I saw a guy on YouTube a few months ago talking about his 7 different muscle tears, and that he'd probably have more. Yeah, he was jacked. How long do you think he's going to be in the game? Do you think what he's doing is really worth it? Guy's going to be so banged up in another 10 years, he probably will barely be able to train. He's going to hurt every time he gets out of bed. What good is that? What's the point in that? Life doesn't end in your 20s, guys. That's your starting point. That's where you learn the basic skills of everything in life that you're going to need later. That's your starting point. And if you're so beat up and banged up in your 20s that you can't keep training, you're going to end up like every one of these other dudes I know that I meet all the time who talk about how they used to lift, how they want to get into shape, but want to lose 50, 60 pounds, 80 pounds. Well, they want to deadlift 400 or 500 pounds again, but they're all beat up, they're all banged up. That's mediocrity. And it's because they got caught up in the wrong ideas when they were younger about what training was all about. They listened to people who are going to hurt them. They learned from other people who hurt them. And you don't have to get hurt just from lifting heavy and being strong. I encourage everyone to be strong. You know what I think is reasonably obtainable? I think most healthy men should still be able to get to a 500-pound deadlift. I think the average healthy woman should be able to get to a 250-pound deadlift. I encourage that. I don't think it's unreasonable for a healthy young man to get to a 300-pound bench press with a pause on his chest. I think that's a great goal. I think that's fantastic. I would encourage you to do so if you are structurally built and genetically able to do those things without injury and safely, and it's a goal that you want for yourself, then by all means go for it. You don't have to lift light. I'm not telling people to do that. I encourage heavy training. But everything that you do needs to be geared towards, how is this going to help me in the long term? Is this going to be good for my long-term health and fitness goals? Or is this something I'm doing for some short-term fix that's going to possibly injure me? The things that I'm doing and the goals that I'm reaching for now, if they hurt me, if they seriously hurt me, can I really live with that and be happy about that decision 20 years from now? That's what people need to be asking. That's what people need to be asking. Training and fitness just isn't about being in shape in your 20s and getting burned out, banged up, beat up, and having to quit, and then being completely out of shape by 35. No, that's not fitness. Fitness is Jack LaLanne swimming the English Channel at 92 years old. That's fitness. And that's excellence. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.